Hello, everybody, and welcome to PianoStream. I tell you what, you are in for a treat like you've never had before. If you have a QRS system, or a Piano Disc IQ, or a Piano Disc Prodigy, or any Disc Clavier, watch out. This is as good as it gets. A lot of you know that if you hop on the internet and if you just try to find MIDI files, most of them are dumb, most of them don't play right, most of them sound hideous, and they're not dedicated to your player system. Unless you're looking for classical stuff, and that's nice, and a lot of that stuff is out there, but everything else that you want to listen to, good luck finding it, because it's basically not there, okay? And that's where we come in. We have everything you can think of, and it's absolutely beautiful. And we can make your piano sing, and I'm not even exaggerating. You just wait until you hear your piano play. You're going to be blown away by it. So let me show you how this works, okay? Let's pretend this is the first time that you've used PianoStream. You open it up, you see that, and this is the analog interface, and you can hear that fax sound. I want you to remember that this analog interface is mostly for Piano Disc IQ and for Piano Disc Prodigy. Then if we switch over to digital, and actually for piano quarter, if you happen to have one of those. But let's switch over to digital, and digital, what's powerful about this is this works on pretty much every piano out there, and you just need a little device called MD-BT01 for this to work. So let's just leave the music playing in the background just for the heck of it. Let me turn it down. Touch the little I button, and this web page comes up. If you go down a little bit, you can see that there's this device right here. It's called an MD-BT01. But so you can understand where you'll plug that in, imagine this is the back of the control unit on your piano. Pretty much every piano has MIDI in and MIDI out. You want to take this device and plug it into the MIDI in and MIDI out. Now let's touch the device. It's about $55 on Amazon, and this thing is the only MIDI receiver that we recommend. After all of the stuff that we've been through, this is the best one so far. It's easy to rename, and it's easy to update the firmware. So this is the one that we recommend. So you get that baby, and then once again, now I got to tell you though, sorry, I don't mean to be, I'm adding too much information here. I don't want to be confusing people. But if you have a Disc Clavier Inspire upright, then this MD-BT01 will not work. You need another device called a UD-BT01. And let me just look it up really fast. Sorry, excuse me. And I typed it in wrong. UD and BT01. And you'll see this device right here. This is what you'll want if you have a Yamaha Inspire upright. The MIDI ports on the Inspire upright don't work. You'll want this device for the Yamaha upright, and you'll also want this device if you have a Mark IV, because most likely that other device won't fit under your Mark IV. If you get this device, then you'll want to change the input by grabbing the PRC 100 on your Mark IV and going to the MIDI options and then switching over to USB. And so once again, this thing is for the Mark IV, and it's also for the Disc Clavier Inspire. But for everything else, you want that MD-BT01, okay? And it works on everything, pretty much everything, okay? So now let's assume you've ordered that, you're ready to go, and you want to try PianoStream for the first time, and you plug it into that device, and then you go over to the digital interface and you're ready to connect. Okay, that's fine, but you know what? Let me stop the music. We really should update the firmware on that device, and we should rename it. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm just going to go to the App Store, and I'm going to type in MD-BT01, okay? There it is, and download this app. And in my case, I already have it, okay? And just hit okay, blah, blah, blah. And settings would like to, okay, fine, yes, allow, yes, allow new connections, okay? And now let's go back to this, and instruction, turn off the power of your MD-BT01, UD-BT01, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it shows up right there. I have a brand new one right out of the box, and the firmware version says 1.03. I'm going to touch it. And it's going to say that there's something else available for me. And for some reason, it's not letting me. Let me close the app. I don't know why it's doing that. And let me go to here. Where? There it is. MD-BT01. See that right there? Let's hit OK. And let's touch it like that. And I'm glad that we had to go through that together. So you can see sometimes you just have to work around these little things. So once again, I have a brand new BT01 and I need to update the firmware. I'm going to touch firmware. You can see that there's a new version, 1.07. So obviously we want that. I'm going to touch update and you'll see that it updates really fast. So let's just wait for that. And once that's done, I'm going to show you how to rename it. And so you can rename it. I think you can use up to like 8 characters or 7 characters. But I normally just call it piano. Just simplify things for yourself and call it piano. Okay? All right, it's updated. That was easy. And now let's touch it again. And this time let's rename it. And once again, I'm just going to call it piano just to simplify my life. Rename. And now I'm renaming it. And now you'll see, there you go. Okay, so now let's close that program and let's go back to PianoStream. Now you're ready to rock and roll. Okay, your piano's on. If you have a QRS, you need to switch the input to MIDI. Usually you'll have to use your remote control to push line in or push MIDI or push source. Somehow you need to tell the piano that you're going to be sending MIDI data to it. If you have a disc clavier, you don't have to do anything. Just connect to it. And the same with Piano Disc Prodigy and Piano Disc IQ. If you have MIDI ports under your IQ system, you really don't have to do anything. You just have to connect to it. So we have updated our MD-BT01. We've connected it to our piano, and now we're ready to connect to that device. So touch the little Bluetooth logo thingy that looks like a little bow tie, and I renamed mine. Oh, great. Now I have 2 of them, and I don't know which one it is. Let's touch the top one, and I actually have a piano upstairs, and so I probably should have named it something else because it's like 5 in the morning. I don't want to turn it on. But once you're connected to it, then touch these little arrows randomly until you see piano or whatever it is that you named it in the window. But you can see that piano is a nice thing to call it because it is a piano, duh. So now hit OK, and now we can hit play. But once again, I don't know which device I'm connected to, so I don't dare hit play right now. But that's all it is. Should we go through that process one more time? Okay, so it's disconnected, and let's just touch piano. Let's touch this one right here, piano. And like I said, I don't know which one it is. Hit done, and then hit these arrows, and now I know which one it is. See, I'm touching the arrows randomly, but it's not showing up in the window. So I'm just going to go back, and now I'm going to connect again. And now I'm going to hit done, and then I'm going to touch these arrows randomly until I see piano in the window, and then I hit OK. Now I hit stations. See those little quarter notes, bottom right-hand corner? Touch those, bring them up, and let's choose a station. And once again, I don't dare push play. I really would like to, but I don't dare do it, okay? But your piano would be playing right now, and it would be absolutely beautiful. So let me disconnect, because it's making me nervous since it's 5 in the morning. Okay, I'm no longer connected. And of course, if your piano were connected, then you would be hearing this beautiful music, okay? So that's how you use the digital interface with PianoStream. I hope that made sense. As with everything, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get the hang of this, you won't be able to live without it. It's so much fun. And notice that you do have a favorites button, so you can easily add stuff to your favorites. And in fact, should I show you that really fast? Let's say I like that song. Let's say I like that song. Let's say I like that song. Touch the little notes, bottom right-hand corner, and then touch the 3 dots, top right-hand corner, and touch show favorite songs only right there. And there are my favorite songs. You notice that I just ordered 3 of them. I just selected 3 of them. So now you're going to hear those favorite songs. Oh, and speaking of which, did I not show you how to select music? So you just touch those little notes, bottom right-hand corner. This time I'm going to touch the 3 dots, and I'm going to touch show all songs. And now you're going to see all this stuff. And let's say that we want to hear the recently added stuff. And these are all stations. See how you have the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. And let's just load the recently added just for the heck of it. 14 songs. Okay, hold on just 2 seconds. And there are those 14 songs that we've just barely added to PianoStream. And they're all absolutely beautiful. So Anyway, I hope that that made sense. I guess I'll be quiet. I could go on and on about all of this stuff, but I think that you understand.